Okay, so we'll just do one more chapter. He says, our foundation. What's foundation? It says truth, the foundation. Our discussion of midot, of emet, truth, or honesty, precedes our discussion of all other midot. Why? Why is that? He says, we're going to talk about truth before we talk anything, since it is the foundation upon which all others are built on. A person cannot improve himself if he is not honest about his failings. Nor will he be motivated to improve himself if he does not seek the truth. Honesty can be compared to the foundation of a building, which has to be perfectly level. If it's not, then whatever is built on it, here we have a contractor, what's going to happen? It's going to be crooked and it will eventually collapse, correct? Yes. Similarly, if a person is not absolutely honest and straight, his character can easily become corrupt. He says, without honesty, game over. You'll never be able to fix anything.
Honesty about me.
Yeah, he's talking about me. He's not talking about anybody else. Our sages tell us in Sanhedrin that Hashem's seal, his stamp, is truth. Therefore, we are commanded to follow his ways and ensure that we are truthful to the core. Regarding falsehood, Chazal said in Sanhedrin, whoever deceptive with his speech is considered as if worshipping idols. This is derived from the similar wording of two seemingly unrelated verses. It says a person who's lying is like avodah zarah. Where do you get that from? He says two verses that are not even close to each other. Where? Regarding Yaakov's impersonation of Esav, the pasuk says, Kim'atea, yeah, v'hayita be'inav kim'atea, and I shall appear in his eyes as a deceiver. Whose eyes? And regarding idol worship, the pasuk says, Hevel hema ma'aseh ta'atu'im, says they are vanity and work of deception. So notice it has the same words, meaning when the mother of Yaakov, Yaakov told him, go give your father this, but I'm going to look like a deceiver in his eyes, in my father's eyes, right? He uses this word, kim ta'atea, and about idol worship, it says what? Hema ma'aseh ta'atu'im. It's the same church. Yeah, he says, why is falsehood compared to idolatry? Perhaps we'll explain this using another statement of the Gemara. It says like this, the Jews knew that there is no substance to idolatry, and they engaged in idolatry only in order to permit themselves overt immorality. Why? You hear what he says? He says they knew that idolatry, zero. It's shtuyot. You have an idol over here. Yeah? He says, why did they believe in this idol knowing that it was nothing? Because they wanted to do their immoral things, relations, and therefore we cannot believe in Hashem because emet. So let's believe in this stupid thing, right? And this is how we could do whatever we want. He says, the Gemara adds that only after they become attached to idolatry, did they become fond of it. This begs the question, if the Jews knew that idolatry was false, and all they wanted was to permit immorality, why didn't they simply act immorally without resorting to idolatry as an excuse? This is a big thing. You hear what he's saying? If this is nothing, and all you want to do is have relations with women, why not just go have relations? Yeah, forget the stupid thing. No. The answer is that they were incapable of doing something they knew was wrong. We know immorality is wrong. So they needed a way to rationalize to themselves that they were doing it, that what they were doing was correct. This is true of all evildoers. Even the worst people in history created an ideology to justify their atrocities. You hear what I'm saying? For instance, I don't want to say on video, but we'll say it maybe later. Because their conscience prevented them from engaging in immoral acts, they had to embrace an ideology that would make these acts permissible. How can we believe in Hashem and do immorality? He's against it. But we cannot do immorality without a substance. Exactly. So you know what? Let's believe in this thing. And this thing We allow us to do it. You hear? He says, when Chazal say that the Jews knew that there is no substance to idolatry, they mean that the Jews knew in depths of their hearts that idolatry was nonsense. But they deliberately obscured the truth from themselves in order to pursue their desires. He says, now we can understand why falsehood